Bagpipers. Present.
Foot man. 343. On the right.
Right.
Go. More.
Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Atlantic City Police, FD, Fire, Public Works, and Ventnor City Fire, Public Works, PD, and all the organizers. The American flag is more than a cloth, thread, and ink. It's a symbol of our ethos, ideology, and culture, bonded by the blood of the 2,077 innocents that died on September 11th. Nor does our flag fly by wind alone. It flies by the last breath of our firefighters, police officers that died on September 11th, and our military that made the ultimate sacrifice in our global war on terror. And it flies by the breath from patriots, patriots like you, that pledge their allegiance to the flag and believe, e pluribus unum, out of many, there is one. Please remove your headwear, place your right hand over your hearts, and feel the heartbeat of freedom, the pulse of patriotism, as we pledge our allegiance to the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the United States, to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order! Out! Please be seated.
Uncover, please. Let us pray. God, we remember the towers falling, the lives lost, the grieving families, the despair, our vulnerability. And we remember the heroes who held the injured and held death in their hands as we honor and give thanks to all those who saved and served. Please bless the 2,977 innocents, and to let those who lost loved ones give them strength when they are in need, hope in times of despair, comfort in times of grief, and heal their broken hearts. Amen.
Good morning, Patriots. On behalf of the Saracini and O'Neill families, welcome to the 2024 Saracini O'Neill Atlantic City 9/11 Memorial Ceremony. We thank you for mourning and celebrating the lives of the 2,977 innocents who perished on that tragic day, a day very much like today, 23 years ago. Especially Victor Saracini, John O'Neill, Andrew Alamino, and Wayne Allen Russo. Our thanks to Mayors Marty Small and Tim Crebo, the cities of Atlantic City and Ventnor City Police, Fire, and Public Works, CRDA Executive Directors Eric Sheffer and Jerry Barnhart. Thank you, Bob Pantalina, for working 365 days a year on this ceremony. Thank you, Donna and Bernie Ilson, for sharing your home with us, Patriots both. Sal Dupree, lead singer of the 1950s and 60s group, the Duprees, thank you for singing the national anthem and bringing Julia Valentino and Ella Maxwell to our ceremony. Dr. Victoria Dulcimore and her daughter, Valentina Dulcimore Rosenfeld, for your poetic readings. Laura and John Gowdy, your sand sculpture, as always, is beautiful. Thank you to the members of the New Jersey Retired Police and Firemen Association Atlantic County Chapter, who will place a wreath on the memorial at the end of the ceremony. Thank you to Gallagher and Rhodes, Certified Public Accountants of Cape Coral, Florida, for your generous contribution to the ceremony. Masterpiece Advertising, Christina Bevilacqua, Steve Weyerback, and Rick Santoro. You're the best. Last salute, funeral and honor guard, the patriotic American Legion Riders. faithful Atlantic County pipes and drums, thank you one and all. You are true patriots. With us today are the members of flight crews from America, United, and Delta Airlines, representing the 34 crew members of the airlines who perished on September 11th. Among them is First Officer and Pilot Timothy Drew. Tim is a pilot of a 757-767 aircraft for United Airlines, the same type of aircraft flown in the September 11th attacks. And Drew was a United States Navy aviator, serving 20 years, flying a Lockheed S-3 Viking carrier-based anti-submarine warfare aircraft, just like Victor Saracini. And like John O'Neill, he was an FBI agent in the Chicago field office, knowing and working with many of John O'Neill's friends and co-workers. First Officer and Pilot Timothy Drew, thank you, and welcome to the Saracini O'Neill Memorial family. Please hold your applause until all flight and crew members are standing. We are pleased to welcome Angela Aubel, Lizette Bissetti, Donna Grossman, Donna Josephs, Linda Wiener, Kathy Schmidt. Thank you for joining us today.
Mayor Small was born and raised and educated in Atlantic City. He is a graduate of Stockton University, and I'm told he was a basketball player. He is the mayor of Atlantic City for the past 5 years. Mayor Small, thank you for your support. You're a friend to our Memorial Day, 9/11, and Veterans Day ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Small.
All right. Thanks for the plug of being a former basketball player. Those days are long gone, trust me. But good morning, everyone. Good morning. And it's a great day here in the city of Atlantic City. Can we say great day? And it's also a great day here in the USA. Can we say USA? Yes, I'm Mayor Marty Small Sr., mayor of the great city of Atlantic City, and it is my honor to be here at yet another Saracini O'Neill event. It's simple. We all know what we were doing during that horrific day when 9/11 happened and a lot of innocent people lost their lives, which quickly turned to a terror attack on America. But let's use 9/11 as a true teachable moment. Because I don't care where we all stand on the first Tuesday of November. It's not about that. We are Americans. We are together, whether you Democrat, Republican, black, white, Asian. It's all the United States of America, and it's called the United States of America for that reason. We all remember how then President George Bush sat in that classroom, kept his calm, while the nation was under attack. And later that night, when he addressed the American public, we all were one. And 9/11 has changed the way we deal with airports, security, and more, and the country is truly better for it. So we've shown that we can come together in a time of crisis, and we need to keep that same energy as we move forward. So to all of the people that lost their lives in 9/11, we're truly grateful for the service. We're truly grateful that we get to come here each and every year and recognize, our members of 9/11. To our police and fire department, many were dispatched to New York to help out on that fateful day. Thank you for your service as well. We appreciate it. But as we sit here today, America, the greatest country in the world, we all saw the symbol later that night amongst the rubble. And it's from our national anthem, gave proof through the night, and our flag was still there. So let's continue to support all of the people in the military. As a matter of fact, if you're a member of the military, a veteran, if you can, please stand. Let's give them a round of applause for their sacrifice and dedication to this country. Locally, this administration, the small administration, has been a great partner with veteran organizations, be it stand down events, always a partner in the Saracini O'Neill events. And we put our money where our mouth is when we contributed $480,000 just a few blocks away for the Bernie Friedenberg statue. It's important that we continue to support you because, as I always say, you have made this country the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we appreciate you. One more time, can we say great day?
Thank you, Mayor. And I hope in about 10 years from now, your knees are not reminding you that you was a basketball player. Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce some of our dignitaries today. New Jersey Assemblyman Don Guardian, who was here. Chairwoman of the County Commissioners, Maureen Kern. Also in the back is Judge Bernie DeLury, who was a retired naval captain, and I mention him because he has done several hearings at Guantanamo Bay with the, I'll call them the scum, that have planned 9/11. Thank you, Captain, for being here. And also Jim Pelosis, Chairman of the Casino Control Commission. The Saracini O'Neill Award recognizes individuals, a nonprofit organization that performed exceptional deeds and have history of supporting our police, fire, and our military. It's our honor and privilege to present this year's award to Shore Medical Center of Somers Point, New Jersey. Today we honor the spirit of heroism and selflessness that shone brightly on September 11, 2001. On that tragic day, our nation looked to its first responders, those brave men and women who put others above self to save lives and provide hope. The same spirit of dedication is alive and well at Shore Medical Center in Somers Point and its many trusted partners, like Masterpiece Advertising, who exemplify the same spirit, the same values, the same commitment by providing exceptional care to our community with unwavering commitment. Shore Medical Center works hand in hand with local police, fire, rescue squads, and veterans organizations to ensure that our friends, families, and neighbors receive the best possible care. We are proud to honor and present the Saracini O'Neill Memorial Award to Shore Medical Center in recognition of their steadfast dedication for their service and enduring commitment to the well-being of our community. The most recent contribution was their support and commitment to the organization of the Bernard Friedenberg World War II Memorial that the Mayor just talked about, installed on June 6, 2024 at O'Donnell Park in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Here to accept the award for Shore Medical Center is Fred Banner. Fred?
angels with wings. Tragedy struck that September morning. Bright skies turned gray without warning. Feeling sad, alone, feeling blue. Tears flowing, deep sorrow, the entire crew. God heard you crying that somber day. He summoned all angels to mourn and to pray. Eulogies, hymns from the heavenly loft above, welcoming innocence to the home of the dove. An angel appeared, touched my heart, my soul, whispering a story to comfort and to console. They are home, they are free, they can fly, they can soar. In heaven, where troubles are no more. They are the morning dew, the sun shining bright, the moon, the stars, the evening's night light. In heaven, now angels in the skies above. Think of them often, warmed by God's eternal love.
Flight Heroes. On September 11th, 2001, there were 65,000 American and Canadian commercial flights in North American airspace. Among them were United Airlines, flights 93 and 175, and American Airlines, flight 11 and 77. Shortly after departure, the hijacked American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. It was the first plane hijacked. 3 more would follow. You will hear more about Flight 11 from Frank Delonzo later in the program. United Airlines Flight 175, like American Airlines Flight 11, departed Logan International Airport heading for Los Angeles. It was captained by Victor John Saracini, age 51, an Atlantic City native and graduate of Atlantic City High School and the New Mexico School of Mining and Technology. After college, Saracini was a U.S. Navy aviator, where he flew anti-submarine warplanes on the aircraft carrier USS Saratoga. He was a man of many talents, passions for cooking, riding his motorcycle, and playing his guitar for friends, family, and flight crews. And more importantly, his family, the love and devotion for his wife Ellen, daughters Kirsten and Brielle, was paramount. Flight 175's first officer, Michael Horrocks, age 38, was a Westchester University graduate, star quarterback for the Golden Hens football team, and a member of the university's Hall of Fame. Many of you may remember First Officer Michael Horrocks was honored during this ceremony in 2016. United Flight 175 carried 56 passengers on board, including 5 armed terrorists. Saracini and Horrocks were executed by terrorists, and the Boeing 767 was flown into the South Tower, resulting in the death of 1,200 innocent people. The World Trade Center's North and South Tower collapse occurred within an hour and 42 minutes of the initial collision. The thunderous collapse of the falling towers was recorded at 2.1 on the Richter scale by seismologists as far away as New Hampshire. While death and destruction were taking place in New York City, American Flight 77, piloted by Captain Charles Burlingame, age 51, appointed to the United States Naval Academy, during his tour of duty, His flying skills earned him an assignment to the Navy's Top Gun fighter pilot school in Miramar, California, where he graduated with honors and honed his air combat tactics and techniques. He was then assigned to the aircraft carrier Saratoga, flying F-4 Phantoms. He continued his service at the Pentagon during the Gulf War and subsequently retired from the United States Naval Reserve at the rank of captain. On land, air, or sea, his many friends agreed that he was a kind person. If you were his friend, you were considered family. Upon his tragic death, friends came from as far away as Hong Kong, meeting at a Navy football game to honor him. Flight 77's first officer, David Charlebois, age 39, was born in Morocco, resided in Paris in his teens, then immigrated to the United States with his parents. His bicontinental lifestyle, travel from Paris to Casablanca to the United States, inspired and influenced his unquenchable thirst for travel and adventure. An airline pilot was the perfect fit for him, and toward that end, he enrolled and graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, then became a corporate pilot before joining American Airlines. On September 11th, Burlingame and Charlebois were overcome and assassinated by terrorists. The hijackers took control of the Boeing 757 loaded with jet fuel, flying the aircraft at 530 miles an hour into the west wall of the Pentagon, resulting in the death of 125 military and civilians and 59 innocent passengers and crew. After a 45-minute delay on the tarmac, United Airlines Flight 93 departed Newark International Airport en route to San Francisco with 40 innocent passengers and 4 terrorists on board. Captain Jason Dahl was captain pilot of United Airlines Flight 93. Captain Dahl traded into this flight so that he and his wife could fly to London on their anniversary on September 14th. Dahl was a seasoned veteran, starting his pilot training at age 13, earning his pilot license at age 16, a full year before he received his driver's license. He earned a scholarship to San Jose University by writing an essay on why I want to be a pilot. True to his essay, he enrolled, majored, and graduated with a degree in aeronautic operations. Friends and family say he was the kind of guy who thought of others before himself. A perfect example. His wife loved daffodils. One day when she was out of town, he planted hundreds of daffodil bulbs outside their front door. Upon her return, he never said a word, wanting to surprise her the following spring. So as planned, but after 9/11, the following spring, hundreds of daffodils bloomed, his final act of love to his wife, Sandy. First Officer Leroy Homer Jr., age 36, of Marlton, New Jersey, started flight training at age 15, completed his first solo flight at 16, and earned his pilot license 2 years later. He was an Air Force Academy graduate. Flew C-141s in the Air Force out of New Jersey's McGuire Air Force Base. Served in Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Upon his honorable discharge, he continued in the reserves, retiring at the rank of major. Flight 93 reached cruising altitude when the passengers were shocked to learn that the World Trade Center and the Pentagon were in flames at the hands of terrorists. Passengers feared terrorists were among them. And those fears were confirmed when flight attendant Deborah Welsh was stabbed and left dying on the cabin floor. Minutes later, the terrorists killed Captain Dahl and First Officer Homer, taking control of the airplane, crew, and passengers, aiming the 757 at the best available target, the White House or the United States Capitol. The cockpit flight recorder recalled the last 30 minutes of Flight 93. What follows are actual quotes from the transcripts. Terrorists announced to the passengers, "Ladies and gentlemen, hear the captain. Please sit down. Remain seated. We have a bomb on board." Upon hearing the announcement and anticipating their fate, flight attendants and passengers started to call their loved ones to say goodbye. Flight attendants Sandy Bradshaw told her husband that she and flight attendant Cece Lyles were filling buckets with hot water to throw on the terrorist when the cockpit door was breached. Tom Burnett called his wife in a series of phone calls telling her that he, Todd Beamer, Mark Bingham, and Jeremy Glick met and decided to take control of the plane and crash land it before it struck its intended target. His wife Dina asked him what could she do. "Pray, Dina, just pray," was his response. Todd Beamer's call to his wife Lisa was rerouted to a Verizon supervisor. He told her of the hijacking, the bomb on board, and asked the supervisor to tell his wife, their 2 boys, and their unborn child that he loves them. The Verizon supervisor could hear the passengers saying the Lord's Prayer in the background. She then joined Beamer and the passengers in reciting the Lord's Prayer, followed by the 23rd Psalm. "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures." She then heard Beamer say, "Are you ready? Let's roll." Beamer, Bingham, Burnett, and Glick, armed with nothing but courage, determination, and fueled by patriotism, fought through 3 armed defenders and reached the cockpit door. The cockpit recorder told the story of the battle. Terrorists asked, "Is there a struggle at the cockpit door? Is there something? Is there a fight?" The recorder picked up sounds of glass shattering, shouts of pain, sounds of distress. "They're getting in here. Hold the door. Hold the door. Stop him. Put an axe to it," is heard. During the battle, chants of "Allah is most merciful, Allah is most compassionate" are recorded. Hijackers banked the plane, alternating starboard and port maneuvers with seesawing maneuvers, without success. "They're getting in" is recorded. Terrorists asked, "Should we finish it off?" And the co-pilot responds, "No, not yet. When they all come, we'll finish it off." "Let's go, guys," is recorded, as the food cart was rammed into the cockpit door and the 4 warriors stormed the cockpit. "Hold the door, stop him," is recorded. Then the flight recorder picks up, "Allah, most gracious, trust in Allah." Following their instructions, terrorists asked, "Shall we put it down?" And the co-pilot responded, "Yes, yes." Flight 93 then takes a nosedive at 563 miles an hour and rolls over, Allah the greatest, Allah is the greatest, is repeated numerous times as the plane plummeted, then crashed, like the 23rd Psalm said, in the green pastures of Shanksville, Pennsylvania, killing all of those who were still alive. Many people think that the war on terror started after 9/11. It was our response to terrorism. This is not true. The war on terror started on 9/11. It started with the flight crews on flights 11, 77, 93, and 175. It started with pilots engaging autopilot and sending a mayday signal to ground control. It started with flight crews calling ground control to report a hijacking. It started with flight crews calling loved ones and sharing information. It started with flight attendants Bradshaw and Lyles filling buckets with hot water and working as a team with passengers on Flight 93. And it started when Beamer, Bingham, Burnett, and Glick, ordinary citizens, fought back. It wasn't the physicality of their action. It was their moral courage, their noble principles, their unselfishness. These ordinary men and women looked death in the eye and took extraordinary action. Flight attendants Bradshaw and Lyles, passengers Beamer, Bingham, Burnett, and Glick fought back. It was the right thing to do at the right time in the right place, so that others who were unknown to them could live. God bless them, the 34 United and American Airline crew members, the 242 innocent passengers, and God bless America.
Bagpipers, you're up. Frank Delonzo will now talk about American Airlines Flight 11.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day the Lord has given us today, huh? On September 11th, 2001, at 7:59 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 departed Boston's Logan Airport with Captain John Oganowski and First Officer Thomas McGinnis in the cockpit, and supported by a crew of 9 flight attendants, with 76 passengers on board and, unbeknownst to them, 5 armed Islamic terrorists. The terrorists had been selected by Osama bin Laden. His orders were crystal clear. If the passengers and crew resist, eliminate them and complete the mission. Captain John Oganowski was a Vietnam War veteran and had a 23-year resume with American Airlines. John wore 2 uniforms, the navy blue of the American Airlines captain and the blue jeans and denim shirt that he wore working at their Massachusetts 150-acre peach orchard. He was a farmer in his heart and in his soul, and equally skilled in the cockpit and on a tractor. His first officer, Tom McGinnis, was a 12-year Navy veteran pilot, ending his career as a lieutenant commander. To all that knew him, it was said he was a man who loved God, family, and country. His wife, Cheryl, said it best. During his 42nd birthday dinner at their favorite restaurant on September 8th, 2001, she told him that she loved living this life with him and looked forward to going into the next one with him, ending with, "I love you." Pilots are the heart of the airline industry. Flight attendants are the soul. Both are angels in the sky, angels with wings. Flight attendant Karen Ann Martin had a type A personality. She was organized. She loved to work long, hard hauls, and she was especially enjoyed transcontinental flights. She was a snow skier in the winter, a water skier in the summer. She did her Christmas shopping in July and wrapped her gifts before Labor Day and had them put away before the first frost. Barbara Jean Arstigway, Bobby, wore her heart on her sleeve, full of energy, full of life, with a zest for living. Her happy place was Cape Cod, at home, snuggled on the floor, in front of crackling wood fire with her 3 cats and a hot cup of herbal tea, listening to a James Taylor album. Betty Ann Ong worked her way up the ladder from baggage claims to ticket agent to flight attendant for American Airlines. As a teenager, during the course of an armed robbery at their family store, the perpetrator held a pistol to her head. She maintained her composure during the entire robbery. She showed her mettle again on Flight 11. Madeline Sweeney spent her winters snow skiing in Colorado, her summers on the beach in Cape Cod. She was a warm, bright light that shined on all that knew her. When a terrorist showed her a homemade bomb, she knew she had to do something, and she did. Danny Lewin, a passenger in first class, was a former Israeli Special Forces member and a businessman. He was en route to Los Angeles to rescue his tech company. Danny grew up in Denver, Colorado. His parents loved Israel for being a refuge from tyranny, prejudice, and hate for the past 76 years. Danny's father disapproved of America's materialistic culture. When Danny was 14, the Lewin family relocated to Israel, the Holy Land, the home of Abraham, David, Moses, and Solomon. He believed that moving to the Holy Land would give the family a sense of purpose, resulting in a life of fulfillment and commitment. It took Danny a couple of years to make that transition. He was an excellent student, getting a near-perfect score in both math and verbal tests. And by the age of 18, he enlisted in the Israeli military, was accepted into the Sayeret Maktal. This unit is best known for Operation Thunderbolt and their rescue of 103 Israeli hostages held by Palestinian and German terrorists at Idi Amin's Entebbe Airport in Uganda in 1976. Upon his discharge, he enrolled in the Technion Institute of Technology and graduated with dual degrees in electrical engineering and mathematics. He then enrolled at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. At MIT, he published papers on algorithms and complexity theory and the problem of distributing internet web content. Danny and his professor started a business naming it Akamai, which is Hawaiian for smart and clever. Their product, software designed to make the internet run faster and better, and it did. By 2000, their Akamai stock was worth $307 a share. They were paper billionaires. They got a call from Apple's Steve Jobs, "I want to buy your company." No sale was the response, and the 2000 dot-com bust then came. Their stock plunged to $7.06. On September 11, 2001, Danny Lewin boarded American Flight 11 to close a deal that would save Akamai. He was seated in business class, row B. Also boarding Flight 11 were terrorists Mohammed Atta and Abdulaziz Al-Omari, both trained in America as pilots, and 3 others who were the enforcers, the assassins, all seated in business class. One carried a bomb, they all carried knives, and were instructed to sharpen their knives so you don't discomfort the animal during the slaughter. Let that sink. Atta, the leader, was handpicked by Osama bin Laden to spearhead the attack. The target? The World Trade Center. What is known about Flight 11 is from recorded live reports from airphones by 2 brave and professional flight attendants and from recordings of in-flight announcements by the terrorists. Flight 11 climbed to 35,000 feet. At 8:14 a.m., Atta and Omari approached the cockpit and were cautioned by flight attendant Martin. She was stabbed and left dying on the cabin floor. The terrorists entered the cockpit. Both Oganowski and McGinnis were immediately eliminated, and the terrorists took control of the plane. Danny Lewin came to the rescue. Terrorist Sukhami jumped from behind him and slit his throat, ending his life. Flight attendant Ong dutifully contacted American Airlines. In a 25-minute call, she reported details of the hijacking. Ground control was able to hear the terrorist announcements to the passengers: "Nobody move, everything will be okay. If you try to make moves, you'll endanger yourself and the airplane." Concurrently, flight attendant Madeline Sweeney was calmly reporting to ground control. She gave seat locations, physical descriptions, details of the cockpit breach, and the news about passenger Lewin. She also advised one of the terrorists had showed her a homemade bomb, and she described it in detail. Then, all of a sudden, ground control noticed a change in her voice. Anxious, choppy, a change in her tone, and then she said, "I see water. Something is wrong. We are in rapid descent. We're flying low. We're flying very, very low, way too low. Oh my God. Oh my God." Then the phone went dead. As the 400,000-ton Boeing 767 loaded with jet fuel, flying at 420 miles per hour, slammed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center, resulting in death and destruction in its wake. As the jet fuel ignited, it poured down the elevator shafts, weakening the structure, resulting in its collapse. 1,777 innocent lives were lost, including area residents Andrew Alamino and Patricia Cody, and minutes later, John O'Neill, Stephen Steinberg, Denise Grant, Wayne Allen Russo, and 1,200 innocent lives were lost when the hijacked Flight 175 was flown into the South Tower. Danny Lewin never made it to California, but his genius, his company, Akamai, did survive. During his brief life, Danny made extraordinary contributions to the internet, to computer science through his work in algorithms. One well-known trade publication ranked him the 7th of the most important technologists in the world, several notches ahead of Bill Gates and Larry Ellison of Oracle. God bless the 2,977 innocents, our angels in the sky, Danny Lewin, the crew, and God bless America.
Last salute will now do their prayer box.
what we're going to be doing, so no one is shocked by any loud noises. In their honor, we're going to fire our cannons 3 times. The police chief will fire first, fire chief will fire second, and a pilot will fire third. There will be a brief pause while we reload for the third firing. This is your one and only warning. You are in the blast zone and the cannons will be loud. After the cannons fire, taps will be played, flag will be folded, and presented to the general. Before we begin any of that, I would like to draw everyone's attention to our most sacred possession. This is Last Salute's prayer box, and within it are all of those that we honor. We have conducted over 1,300 military funerals, and each and every one of those is represented in this prayer box, as well as many from many years of conducting this ceremony. I'm going to read the prayer in honor and remembrance of those placed inside. May the gates of heaven open wide, and the protecting saint of warriors, the Archangel Michael, take hold of our fallen brethren and raise this guardian soul to paradise. May he wash away the sin and shield against evil. For this fallen defender of a nation and its people has known sacrifice in service of others. Raise your sword and ascend to the safety and peace above us. Relieve this soul of burden and be blessed upon it. Favor this soul whilst we present honor and shroud this noble warrior from darkness and hasten to everlasting light. Ever be righteously vigilant as we render our last salute.
For those of you who are looking at the barrel of the cannon, I suggest you move. Otherwise, you're going to have something to talk about for the rest of your life.
Stand by, artillery! Cannon one! Fire! Cannon two! Fire! Stand by for reload!
Stand by for artillery! Cadet 3! Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for taps.
Uniform personnel! Attention!
Please be seated. Douglas R. Satterfield, a Galloway Township resident, answered his call to duty, entering the United States Army in 1974. In the following 40 years, he rose through the ranks, ending his career with the 8th Army and the 412th Engineer Command. He was promoted from private to brigadier general, and I'm sure there were a few ranks in between there, General, before receiving his honorable discharge in 2014. At the time of his retirement, he was responsible for over 21,000 military and civilian personnel. During his military career, he earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Texas Tech University and 2 master's degrees, one from Oklahoma State and the other from the U.S. Army War College. During his 4 decades of service, he commanded units from platoon to brigade level in Europe, South America, Asia, Central America, and the Middle East, including Kuwait and Iraq, 22 countries in all. Subsequent to September 11, 2001, he was deployed on a 3-year tour assigned to the 1st Cavalry Division during Operation Iraqi Freedom. His service to our country is in his DNA, and his family has served in the military since 1775 during the American Revolutionary War. His daughter Audrey continued the Satterfield tradition recently, ending her 6-year tour with the Army's 130th Engineer Brigade as an engineer. Now retired, Douglas Satterfield continues to serve our country and our veterans wherever there is a need. Most recently, he served on the committee that organized and constructed the Friedenberg World War II Memorial. He is also a member of the Atlantic County Veterans Advisory Board and current president of the Four Seasons Veterans Club. And there is a veteran in need. He is the first one in line to render assistance. His military honors include Distinguished Service Medal, Legion of Merit, 2 Bronze Star medals, and the coveted Silver de Fleury Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Douglas Satterfield. Douglas Satterfield is an American patriot. He has lived a life of duty, honor, God, and country. And behind this successful man is a strong woman, his wife Nancy, raising their 4 children and mentoring their 3 grandchildren. We recognized him today for his 40 years of service, his participation in the war against global terrorism in Kuwait and Iraq, and to present the honor the 125 military and civilian personnel killed when American Airlines Flight 77, while under control of the terrorists, struck the Pentagon. And he is here today to honor and represent our warriors that responded to the 9/11 terrorist attack in military operations, Iraqi Freedom, New Dawn, Enduring Freedom, where 52,358 warriors were wounded and 6,711 were killed in action. God bless the 75 innocents who perished on American Airlines 77 and the 125 at the Pentagon. Thank you. Bagpipers. Well, you played the Army theme song already. Thank you. Okay. Gary O'Brien will conduct the bell ceremony.
This part of the program, we honor and recognize our local residents who made the supreme sacrifice that day, as well as the military veterans in this area who died in the subsequent battles and the war on terrorism. We will recite each name, followed by the tolling of the bell. Now, just a brief note about the bell. You're probably wondering, what is the significance of that? Well, the bell is really a fire department tradition. We have this wonderful group of firefighters here today, and they know what sacrifice is all about. Prior to the advent of all this technology that we have today, the fire department communicated with a system of bells. And unfortunately, in the case of a death of a firefighter at a scene, the officer would ring out 5 rounds, 5 bells, and identifying that the fact that a firefighter has been killed in a line of duty and notifying headquarters and others of this event. So that's a tradition, although the bells are gone now, but that tradition lingers on with the firemen during their memorial services, as well as, unfortunately, funerals for dead firefighters that are killed in the line of duty. So let us begin by recognizing the 2,977 citizens who were killed that day. Toll the bell. Victor Saracini. Toll the bell. John O'Neill. Toll the bell. Andrew Alamino. Toll the bell. Patricia Cody. Toll the bell. We now remember our local military that died in our war against terror. I will recite all the names at the conclusion. We will toll the bell. Iorio Bradley, Francis Toner Jr., Eric Rivera, Samir Rativ, Mark Seaton, Leonard Russ, Christopher Castaneda, Anthony Southstow. Toll the bell. We'll also take this moment to recognize the friends and family. Patricia Cushing, Antoinette Duga, Jane Folger, Denise Grant, George McLaughlin, Wayne Allen Russo, and Stephen Weinberg. Toll the bell. And finally, our public safety personnel, the 24 New York Police Department officers, the 37 Port Authority police officers, the 343 FDNY New York Fire Department firefighters, the 34 pilots and flight attendants. May they toll the bell. May their souls and all the souls of their departed may they rest in peace in God's hands. We will now go with the traditional 5 rounds of bell. Toll the bell.
Lee Greenwood is a patriot, singer, songwriter, and always wanted to write a song about America. So he put a pen to a paper and wrote his tribute out about the country he loves. Then a series of global events, including the 1990 Gulf War, motivated him to write an album titled American Patriot. And he included his tribute to an American in that album. After September 11th terrorist attack, the song took a new life and remains popular today. Here is Lee Greenwood's tribute to America, a song about unity, a song about the American spirit, a song about patriotism. Here's a song about America, sung by 13-year-old Ellie Maxwell.
All my life
Valentina Rosenfeld will now recite the poem, I Am America. Valentina?
I was conceived by our founding fathers, born on July 4th, 1776. The Declaration of Independence is my birth certificate. George Washington and Betsy Ross are my godparents. I am our founding fathers, the Constitution, the Statue of Liberty. I am America. I am the Pilgrims at Jamestown, the immigrants at Ellis Island, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the Star-Spangled Banner. I am America. I am Saracini, O'Neill, Alamano, Cody, Steinberg, Grant, and Russo. I am the 2,977 innocents. I am America.
Julia Valentino will now do God Bless America. Julia?
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless
we end our ceremony, I think I see Assemblywoman Claire Swift and County Commissioner Jude Burns out there. Thank you for attending. I want to thank everybody for being here today. It's truly an honor to do this on 9/11, an event that means so much to us. At this time, I would like Mr. McNeil to escort John Gowdy, firefighters, police officers, and honored military heroes and speakers to our beautiful stand sculpture for the finale. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and as we say in the Marines, Semper Fidelis. Marco!
Thank you for your service. See the flags at half-mast.
Company dismissed! Hey.
Atlantic City 9/11 Memorial. Can you believe 23 years ago? Wow. And let's see what the king here looks like with the flowers.
Oh, okay.
Talk tomorrow. Bye.